Hey y'all, Tall Dwarf here, and today I'm going to be trying out something new. I decided to make a video essay on the game Suzerain and why I believe it is a good game. Suzerain was first released back on December 4th, 2020. It just recently received its first DLC called Kingdom of Rizia. I purchased the base game back in August 2023, and it quickly became one of my favorite games. When I saw Torpor announce the Kingdom of Rizia DLC, I pre-ordered it and started playing as soon as I could. This is a collection of my thoughts as I've played through this DLC and on the game broadly. So far I've loved every second of it, and I have spent almost 3 hours on this playthrough you see going on in the background, and I'm nowhere close to done with it. If you guys would please like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy and want me to do more of this type of content. Torpor has once again delivered an amazing game, a great storyline with well thought out and developed characters. And this made me think, why do I enjoy this game so much? I've sunk dozens of hours into it and will continue to play it over and over again, both the base game and the new Kingdom of Rizia DLC. But it's just conversations, signing laws, clicking buttons, etc. As I considered why I enjoy this game so much, I came to a realization. Why I love this game so much is why I love a choose-your-own-adventure book. I'm sure many of you have read or at least heard of these books before. I remember them quite fondly from my childhood, when I spent hours digging through the books and finding all of the options, fun paths, and little almost Easter eggs the writers had put in. Suzerain is much the same, but with an even more compelling medium. The visuals, music, and writing come together to give a genuinely immersive and intriguing experience despite being simply text-based. A strong basis for the appeal of Suzerain is the tremendous amount of effort that has gone into the world. There is page after page after page of history for countries and people, both those important to the story and those who have little to no effect on your playthrough. Beautiful flags for every country, well thought out religions, even new languages invented that get used in phrases like Amorgna Vescore, Vectorn Sista, and Glavorius Oxorizia, which feel almost like real languages and inspire a sort of patriotism for a non-existent country and culture. The effort and care the devs at Torpor put into it is readily apparent when you play the game, and it's easy to get lost in the game with how realistic everything feels. You truly become Anton Rain or King Romus while you play. Every decision you make has an effect. Little ones like your daughter Vina being happy with you, all the way up to being assassinated or starting a war. There's a reason this game is rated very positive on Steam, with more than 93% of the reviews being positive, including my own. And it's because the devs put in the effort to make a good game. The first DLC came out more than 3 years after the base game because they put in the effort to make sure it is a quality DLC and experience, that there's minimal bugs and good writing. Enough about why the game is good. Let's explore the relationship between Choose Your Own Adventure books and Suzerain. The Choose Your Own Adventure series originated in the late 1970s and published nearly 200 books in the next 40 years, while simultaneously prompting dozens, if not hundreds, of similar books to be published as well. They were a minor craze for a time and covered almost any conceivable topic. Even some educational Choose Your Own Adventure books were published. Now, I'm sure you're asking how Choose Your Own Adventure books could relate to this style of game and Suzerain's small-time success. I posit that Suzerain, and other games like it, fill the same niche modernly that Choose Your Own Adventure books filled 30 years ago. They have the same goal. The player, or reader, follows a linear story, but there are dozens to hundreds of different linear stories, all contained under the same proverbial roof, all ready to be explored if you, the reader or player, will invest the time to seek out the different paths by choosing different options. Suzerain fills the niche even more effectively than one of those books ever could have. Like many things, digital versions are often simply superior. To fit all of the information that Suzerain contains into a choose-your-own-adventure book, You would need a book 750 to 1,000 pages or even longer, which is simply not possible. But for a PC game, it's easy to store that much information, or even more. An author writing a choose-your-own-adventure book has to limit themselves to a short, simple, and easily understandable story, where Suzerain has no such limit placed on it. Yet another of the advantages Suzerain has is its ability to cross-reference important names, places, and things will be highlighted blue in the text as you read through the current event. Clicking them opens the in-game dictionary, and you can read all about the person or place or thing. Additionally, the in-game dictionary updates as events take place throughout the game, so that you can reference it and see that you did turn down Walter Tusk's deal and upset him. A choose-your-own-adventure book relies on the reader being able to store all the information internally, limiting how deep the in-game world can go due to the limits of the human mind and the printed book, especially as the books were largely targeted at kids and teenagers. Yet another of Suzerain's advantages lies in its world building. Each of the in-game countries has a basis in real-world countries. Rizia, for example, is based largely on the Romance countries, like Spain and France, and their language is vaguely Latin. Arcasia is based largely on the USA and its strong pro-capitalist governance and desire to spread democracy across the world, and this alternate Cold War against the Kantanans based on the real-world Soviets. Although these similarities are apparent, and they help new players understand the world of Mercopa, it isn't nearly a one-to-one equivalence. Each country is very distinct and has a complex and immersive history to explore, to the point where it can even be intimidating to a new player. I recall in my first playthrough as Anton Rain, president of Swordland, I was confused by the Agnolian-Volgish War over Helgeland, and tried to support both of them, thinking they were in two different conflicts. Though it can be a lot to take in as a new player, it makes the game so much better on your second or third or fourth playthrough. And the depth is endlessly intriguing for the player who seeks out the deep, well-written world. The writers for the game are also just funny. I find myself genuinely laughing out loud at the game as I play. For instance, as King Romus, you have the decision at one point to declare that your people will remember you as King Romus the Fiscally Responsible, which is just good humor. Plus, there's the option to romance Lucida. I would pay the $10 for the DLC just from my house as Arohati. Suzerain is an amazing game, well worth its price, and I will be pre-ordering the next DLC for the game when it gets announced. To wrap up my thoughts and put my point succinctly, Suzerain not just fills, but improves upon the niche first filled by choose-your-own-adventure books, and is altogether a good game, well developed by a dev team who puts in the effort and delivers good, well-written stories in an era where many other studios churn out what is frankly lazy B-tier stories and writing to make as much money as possible. And I and the Suzerain community as a whole praise the team at Torpor for their effort and care. I hope y'all enjoyed this video and this style of content. Help me out down in the comments if you have any suggestions on ways that I can improve this video or future ones. I appreciate y'all watching this video and sticking around, and I hope y'all have a good one.